She was abandoned at the altar and married a homeless man. What she discovered afterward left her speechless. "Are you sure you want to marry this man?" Father Michael's voice trembled as he looked at the ragged stranger standing at the altar. "He's a vagrant, a beggar from the street." Eleanor gripped her daughter's veil so tightly the fabric tore. 200 guests are watching! Lucy felt tears burning her cheeks, but she held her chin high. "Yes, I'll marry him." Her stomach churned as she recalled Liam's text message. "I'm leaving with Patricia. She has more money than you. Don't look for me." 3 years wasted for a heiress he met 3 months ago. Andy watched the bride tremble in her lace dress. 3 hours ago, he didn't even know her name. Now he was standing where another man should be, his messy beard and worn clothes a grotesque contrast to the elegance of the cathedral. "Miss Fernandez," he whispered, "you don't have to do this out of spite." "It's not spite." Lucy looked him directly in the eye. Her brown eyes held a ferocity that surprised him. "It's survival." The guest's murmurs swelled like a wave. "Who is he? Where did she get him? He looks like a derelict." Eleanor let out a theatrical sob. "You've ruined us. The whole family." "Carlos ruined me when he left me for money." Lucy's words cut the air. At least this man had the decency to help me when he saw me crying outside. 3 hours earlier, Lucy had run out of the sacristy, her phone still hot in her hand. Photographers swarmed her like vultures. "Where's the groom? Is it true he left you? One more shot of you crying." Camera flashes blinded her. She tripped on her heels and fell directly into a man who smelled of cheap coffee and sleepless nights. "Leave her alone." His voice was deep, authoritative, despite his appearance. Andy put his body between her and the paparazzi. "The lady needs space." "And who are you, her bodyguard?" a photographer scoffed. Lucy saw her mother coming out of the church, horror painted on her made-up face. An absurd decision, born of desperation, exploded in her mind. "He's my fiancé." The words came out before she could stop them. "My real fiancé." The silence lasted exactly 2 seconds before chaos erupted, back in the present. "We don't have a marriage license." Father Michael, Eleanor's cousin, and clearly wishing he were anywhere else, protested. "Then do a symbolic ceremony." Lucy squeezed Andy's hands. They were calloused, but surprisingly warm. "Please, Miguel, this is crazy," Andy whispered. "You don't know me. And Liam knew me after 3 years." Her laugh was laced with bitterness. "At least you don't pretend to be something you're not." If she only knew the irony of those words. Andy felt the weight of his truth. The millions in bank accounts, the tech company, the downtown penthouse, pressing against his chest. But he looked into this woman's desperate eyes and saw his own reflection from 8 months ago, when his ex, Victoria, had laughed as she confessed she only loved his money. "All right," he said finally, "I'll marry you." Eleanor let out a shriek. Several guests got up to leave, but Lucy smiled. The first real smile of the day. Father Michael opened his book with trembling hands. "I suppose we proceed." "Wait!" Liam appeared at the church entrance, his Italian suit impeccable. Patricia nowhere in sight. "Lucy, don't do this stupid thing." "You're showing up now." Lucy felt bile rise in her throat. "Patricia left me." Liam advanced down the aisle, as if it were his right. "She found someone richer at the airport. We can fix this." The guest's head swiveled like a tennis match, looking between the millionaire ex-fiancé and the vagrant at the altar. "Get out." Lucy's voice didn't tremble. "You'd rather have this nobody than me?" Liam pointed at Andy with disgust. "Look at him. He probably doesn't even have a place to sleep." "I have what you never had," Andy said calmly. "Respect for the lady." "Respect?" Liam laughed. "What can you offer her? Cardboard to sleep on?" Lucy let go of Andy's hands and came down the altar steps. The dress dragged behind her like her broken hopes. She stood in front of Liam, so close she could smell his expensive cologne. I'd rather sleep on cardboard with someone real than on silk sheets with a lie. The slap she gave him echoed through the cathedral. Liam touched his cheek, stunned. "You'll regret this. My only regret is wasting 3 years on you." She turned and went back up the steps to the altar, where Andy was waiting with a mixture of admiration and concern. Eleanor was sobbing loudly. The guests were murmuring frantically. "Father Michael!" Lucy took his hands again. "Marry us." "Now?" The smell of coffee woke Lucy. For a moment, she forgot everything. The abandonment, the impromptu wedding, the stranger who was now in her kitchen. "It wasn't a dream," she murmured, seeing her wedding dress tossed over a chair. Andy appeared in the doorway with 2 mugs. His messy beard looked less wild in the morning light. "You slept well in your bed. I took the sofa. We didn't. Nothing happened." He placed the coffee on her nightstand, keeping a respectful distance. "Yesterday's ceremony was symbolic. Miguel couldn't legally marry us without documents." Relief and something like disappointment mixed in her stomach. "So we're not married." "Not officially." Andy sat on the edge of the bed, careful not to invade her space. "Lucy, you acted out of pain yesterday. I get it. I can leave right now and we can forget everything." She studied his face. There was something in his eyes, a sadness she recognized. "Why did you help me?" "Because I know what it's like for someone to destroy you for money." The words came out before he could stop them. Before Lucy could ask more questions, the front door burst open. "Lucy Fernandez." Eleanor came in like a hurricane, her mother of the bride dress still on. 30 unread messages." "Mom, it's Sunday at 8 in the morning." "Exactly. All of New York is talking about your scandal." Eleanor froze when she saw Andy. "The vagrant is still here." "My name is Andy." He used the diminutive automatically, a habit from 8 months of hiding. "And I'm not a vagrant. I live in a walk-up in Brooklyn." "A walk-up?" Eleanor fanned herself dramatically. "My daughter's sleeping with a man from a walk-up." "I slept on the sofa," Andy clarified. "Do you have a job?" Eleanor sized him up like an inspector. "Family. A last name even. I work at coffee shops. I fix computers." Half-truths. He did work from coffee shops, just remotely running his company. "My family is complicated." Complicated means criminal or poor. Eleanor turned to her daughter. "Carlos called this morning. He says he had a change of heart." "Carlos can go to hell." Lucy got up, facing her mother. "He left me at the altar for a woman he met 3 months ago. Patricia Martinez has contacts in Europe. Carlos was thinking about his future." "And my future?" "Your future was to be Mrs. Carlos Hale. Now you're the laughingstock of Manhattan." Eleanor pointed at Andy. "What can this nobody offer you?" "Respect," Lucy said, repeating yesterday's words. "Respect doesn't pay the bills." Eleanor took out her phone. "I'm going to call Judge Gutierrez. He can annul that farce of a ceremony." "There's nothing to annul. We're not legally married." Lucy took a deep breath. "But we are going to get married. For real." Silence filled the apartment. Even Andy looked at her, surprised. "Have you lost your mind?" Eleanor shrieked. "Maybe." Lucy turned to Andy. "What do you say? Will you legally marry me?" Andy felt the weight of his lie. In Silicon Valley, his company, Valor Tech, had just closed a $50 million merger. Joaquin, his partner, was sending him desperate texts every day. But looking at this brave woman who chose authenticity over appearances, he made a decision. "We'll need documents, birth certificates, single status certificates." "Do you have documents?" Eleanor interrupted him. "Or did you lose them on the street?" "I have everything." His passport was in the bank's safety deposit box, along with documents that would reveal everything. Andrés Sebastián Villarreal, Echeverria, CEO of Valor Tech. But he could use only his first name and mother's maiden name. I can get them tomorrow. This is crazy. Eleanor slumped onto the sofa. Lucy, think. You don't know him. I knew Carlos for 3 years. What good did that do? Lucy sat next to Andy. At least Andy is honest about who he is. The irony burned Andy's throat like acid. A man from a walk-up, Eleanor muttered. My club friends will never forgive me. Then get better friends. Lucy took Andy's hand. He was sweating. Mom, please leave. We need to talk. I'm not leaving you alone with this stranger. You had no problem leaving me crying in the church yesterday. The blow hit its mark. Eleanor got up, offended. I do everything for your own good. No, you do everything for your image. Lucy opened the door. Go. Eleanor left with a slam that made the family photos tremble. Lucy turned to Andy. Why were you sweating when I took your hand? Because I'm about to tell you something and you might hate me. He ran his hands through his long hair. I'm not who you think I am. Lucy's heart sped up. Are you married? A criminal? No, none of that. Andy went to his shabby backpack, his only luggage. He took out a laptop that looked expensive for someone in his situation. I work with computers. That's true, but I don't just fix them. He opened the laptop. The screen showed emails in English, financial charts, a video conference scheduled with Jay Castillo, Valor Tech Board. I don't understand. Lucy stared at the screen. 8 months ago, my fiancée left me, not for another person. She told me she only loved my money, that without it, I was nothing. He closed the laptop. I decided to test if someone could love me without knowing. Without knowing what? That I'm not poor, Lucy. Quite the opposite. She processed the information slowly. You have money? Something like that. How much is something like that? Andy hesitated. Enough that your mother would adore me if she knew. You can't be serious. Lucy backed up until she hit the wall. Are you telling me you're rich? It's more complicated than that. Andy put the laptop away. Let's just forget it. I shouldn't have said anything. No, you can't drop that bomb and shut up. She grabbed his arm when he tried to walk away. Who are you, really? I'm Andy, the same man who helped you yesterday. His voice was gentle. The money, it doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter? You just said my mother would adore you. Your mother would adore my bank account, not me. The bitterness in his words was palpable. That's why I'm living simply. I needed to know if someone could see me, not see numbers. Lucy studied him. His worn but clean clothes, his calloused hands with neat nails, his Spanish with an occasional foreign accent. Where are you really from? I lived in California for the last 5 years. I came back to Argentina 8 months ago. Partial truths. Always partial truths. I built something there. A tech company. And you left it? My partner runs it. I needed distance. Andy sat on the sofa where he had slept. After what happened with my ex, I couldn't stay in that world. Lucy's phone vibrated. A message from her employee. Boss, we have a problem with the system. The boutique can't open. Damn it! Lucy bit her lip. The inventory system was down again. Can I see? Andy reached for her phone. You know about boutique systems. I know about systems. He took the phone, read the error message. It's a database conflict. I can fix it in an hour. Seriously? Lucy, whatever you think of me, I do know about computers. He stood up. Let's go. Your business can't lose a day of sales. 1 hour later, at the boutique. It's a miracle. Marcella, the employee, looked at the perfectly working screen. We've had that problem for months. Andy was under the desk, reorganizing cables. His shirt rode up, revealing a toned back that didn't belong to someone living on the street. Your boyfriend's a genius, Marcella whispered to Lucy. He's not my... Lucy stopped. Technically, after yesterday, what were they? Done. Andy came out from under the desk with a smile. I also optimized the system. Now it runs 3 times faster. Where did you learn all this? Marcella was impressed. Here and there. Andy avoided Lucy's gaze. Do you need anything else? The door burst open. Liam walked in as if he owned the place. We need to talk. He completely ignored Andy. Alone. We're working, Lucy said coldly. Working? With this guy? Liam finally looked at Andy. Did you give him a job out of pity? He's helped more in 1 hour than you have in 3 years. Lucy crossed her arms. Patricia was a mistake. I already told you. Liam took out a velvet box. Look, I even brought the ring. The same one you bought for me or a new one for Patricia? The arrow hit its mark. Liam blushed. It was the same one, Marcella murmured with disgust. Lucy, be reasonable. Liam came closer. We have history, plans, our families. Your family never accepted me, Lucy interrupted him. Your mother called me a shop girl because I work in retail. But now that Patricia is gone, now I'm good enough. Lucy's laugh was bitter. Second choice, Hale. Don't be dramatic. Liam looked at Andy disdainfully. You'd rather have this, nobody? Look at him. I bet he didn't even finish high school. I have a master's from MIT, Andy said calmly. Everyone looked at him. What? Liam laughed. MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology? Yeah, sure. Liam turned to Lucy. Now the vagrant is an MIT engineer. Andy took out his old, worn leather wallet and pulled out a laminated card. It was his MIT ID with a photo from 6 years ago. Marcella took it reverently. It's real. Andres Villarreal, Master of Software Engineering 2019. Villarreal. Liam frowned. Why does that name sound familiar? Must be common. Andy quickly put the ID away. Lucy, I'm going to get coffee. Do you guys want anything? A vagrant with a master's from MIT. Liam scoffed. What's next? He's an incognito millionaire? The silence that followed was too long. You're pathetic, Liam. Lucy took the ring and threw it at him. Get out! This isn't over. Liam headed for the door. Your mother asked me to do some digging on your new little boyfriend. We're going to find out who he really is. After he left, Marcella whistled. Your ex is intense. My ex is an idiot. Lucy looked to where Andy had disappeared. Marcella, do you think someone with a master's from MIT would live in a walk-up? Maybe he had bad luck, or maybe... Marcella lowered her voice. He's hiding something big. Lucy's phone rang. A message from Andy. At the courthouse. If you still want to get married, I have the documents. Courthouse. 2 hours later. Andres Sebastian Echeverria, the clerk read. Without a middle name? I only use my mother's maiden name. Andy avoided mentioning Villarreal. It was too traceable. Lucy Maria Fernandez Lopez. The clerk continued. Are you sure? Marriage is a serious commitment. We've been committed since yesterday. Lucy joked nervously. Yesterday? The clerk looked at them over his glasses. It's a long story. Andy took Lucy's hand. Right, honey? The word honey came out naturally, too naturally. Lucy felt butterflies she shouldn't feel. Sign here. The clerk looked bored. In 15 minutes, you'll be husband and wife. While they waited, Andy rejected 5 calls. Work? Lucy asked. My ex-boss. He wants me to come back to California. Another half-truth. Joaquin wanted him to actively run the company again. Are you going to go back? I don't know. It depends. On what? On whether I find reasons to stay in New York. Their eyes met. The clerk cleared his throat. Mr. and Mrs. Echeverria, you're married. 3 weeks later, Lucy found Andy drawing diagrams at the dining room table. It was 2 in the morning, and he thought she was asleep. What are you doing? She approached him barefoot in her pajamas. Andy quickly covered the papers. Couldn't sleep, just doodling. Let me see. She took a sheet before he could stop her. It was an expansion plan for her boutique. Market analysis, financial projections, digital strategy. Andy, this is brilliant. It's just an idea. He tried to take the papers, but she held them. How do you know about retail margins? Omni-channel strategy? Lucy faced him. They don't teach this in software engineering. I read a lot. His answer was weak, even to him. Don't lie to me. She sat in front of him. Please, if we're going to make this weird marriage work, I need some truth. Andy looked at her, her hair messy, no makeup, genuinely interested in his ideas. This is how it should have always been, he thought. No pretense, no masks. I had a startup in Silicon Valley, tech for businesses. Each word was carefully measured. I learned about different industries, including retail. What happened? My partner runs it now. I needed to get away after my ex. He took the papers. But your boutique has real potential, Lucy. With the right changes, you could triple sales. I don't have the capital for expansion. You don't need much. Just a smart strategy, he said, his passion evident. Look, if you reorganize the inventory like this and create Instagrammable experiences here. They spent 2 hours going over every idea. Lucy watched him explain with an energy she hadn't seen before. When he yawned, he stopped. Sorry, I get excited about these things. Don't apologize. She touched his hand. This is the first time anyone has taken my business seriously. Never? Carlos said it was an expensive hobby. The bitterness appeared. That when we got married, I would close it. Idiot. The word came out with more venom than expected. Did your ex support your work? My ex loved the results of my work. Andy withdrew his hand. The zeros in the bank account. How many zeros? Lucy half joked. Enough for her to pretend to love me for 2 years. The pain in his voice was raw. Lucy understood that they shared similar wounds, betrayed by people who were supposed to love them. We should sleep, he said softly. Tomorrow is the dinner at my mom's. Andy groaned. Do I have to go? You're my husband, legally now. She smiled. Besides, I need moral support against the hyenas. Eleanor's house, upscale neighborhood, the next night. So you live by fixing computers? Eleanor's friend, Carmen, looked at Andy like a laboratory specimen. I work with systems. Andy meticulously cut his meat, ignoring the stares. And does that pay well? Roberto, Carmen's husband, didn't even try to hide his contempt. It pays enough. Enough for what? For the walk-up. Eleanor served wine to everyone but Andy, leaving him water. Lucy tells me you still live there. While we find something together. Lucy squeezed his leg under the table, a gesture of support. There are very cheap apartments in less desirable neighborhoods, Carmen suggested with fake sweetness. Perfect for tight budgets. Carmen, please. Her daughter Natalie, who had just returned from Europe, looked uncomfortable. Not everyone is born with trust funds. Natalie studied at Oxford, Carmen boasted. Economics. Now she works in investments. Oxford? Andy looked at her with genuine interest. Who did you study market theory with? Professor Henderson? Do you know him? We crossed paths at a few conferences. Andy took a sip of water. Brilliant but stubborn with predictive models. Natalie lit up. Exactly. His obsession with linear regression when, clearly, markets are chaotic by nature. Machine learning is much more effective. Excuse me? Carmen interrupted. How does someone who fixes computers know Oxford professors? I read a lot, Andy repeated. Natalie, Roberto changed the subject. You should meet Carlos Hale, single again and looking for someone at your level. Lucy dropped her fork. Are you seriously going to mention my ex to my face? I'm just saying Carlos has a future. Roberto looked at Andy. Director at the French bank at 30. Not everyone can say that. Not everyone wants to. Andy muttered. Excuse me? Nothing. Andy got up. Excuse me, I need some air. He went out to the terrace. Lucy followed him minutes later, finding him looking at the city lights. I'm sorry, she said. They're awful. They're protecting their world, Andy said, not sounding angry, just tired. A world where value is measured in titles and bank accounts. Not everyone thinks that way, don't they? He turned to her. If you knew I was rich, would you look at me the same way? You are rich, she joked. Hypothetically. Hypothetically. Lucy leaned on the railing next to him. I'd be scared. Scared? That you'd be like Carlos, like them. She pointed inside. Money changes people, or it reveals who they really are. They fell silent, listening to the cruel laughter from the dining room. My ex's name was Victoria, Andy said suddenly. I met her when I was still nobody, a programmer with dreams. She supported me, or so I thought. When the company took off, she changed. Or maybe she was always that way, and I was just too blind. What did she do? She told me directly at our engagement party, in front of everyone. His voice was flat. She toasted my bank account, literally. She said, to the millions that are going to make me happy. God. The guests laughed. They thought she was joking. Andy gripped the railing. But she looked at me and I knew it was true. Everything had been an act. Lucy took his hand. That's why you're living simply. You're testing if someone can love you without the money. I was. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. He looked at her. With you, everything is different. How is it different? It's real. The door opened. Eleanor appeared with a furious expression. Am I interrupting something? Yes, Lucy said, without letting go of Andy's hand. Carmen is asking if your husband knows how to read balance sheets. She wants to test him. Test him? Lucy was indignant. Is this a circus? It's curiosity. Eleanor looked at their intertwined hands with disgust. Someone who claims to know Oxford should be able to read basic numbers. I can read balance sheets, Andy said calmly. I can also structure investments, predict market trends, and explain why Roberto's portfolio is losing money. Eleanor blinked. How do you know about Roberto's portfolio? He mentioned 3 investments during dinner. All of them are bad bets. Andy shrugged. Obvious to anyone who understands markets. If you're so smart, why do you live in a walk-up? Eleanor spat. Because there, no one judges me by my address. The blow was accurate. Eleanor left, furious. That was awesome, Lucy laughed. My mom's going to hate me even more. She already hated you to the maximum. Andy looked at her, his hair blowing in the wind, his eyes shining with rebellion. Without thinking, he touched her cheek. Lucy. Yes? I think I'm falling in love with you. The words hung in the air like the city lights. Before she could answer, Andy's phone exploded with calls. Joaquin again! I have to answer. He walked away. Joaquin? Lucy overheard. The merger is falling apart without you. 50 million, Andy. 50. We need to talk. Liam was standing at the boutique door with red roses and a lost puppy expression. We're talking. Lucy didn't look up from the inventory. 3 days had passed since the disastrous dinner and her half-confession with Andy. Alone! Liam looked toward where Andy was organizing the back room. Without your charity project present. My husband. His name is my husband. Lucy closed the laptop hard. Please. Liam put the roses on the counter. Patricia left me at the airport. We didn't even make it to Europe. She met an Italian count in first class. And that's supposed to matter to me? I made a mistake. I already told you. Liam came closer, wearing that cologne that used to make her melt. 3 years, Lucy. You don't just throw away 3 years. You threw them away for a wallet with legs. It was a temporary madness. Carlos took her hand before she could pull it away. You and I make sense. Our families, our circles, our future. What future? Where I close my boutique to be your trophy wife? Where you're my wife? The mother of my children. His thumb caressed her wrist. You can still have it all. I already have everything. Lucy freed her hand. A husband who respects me. Liam laughed. A cruel, ugly laugh. That vagrant? Lucy, please, look at him. They both looked toward Andy, who was pretending not to hear while reorganizing boxes. His cheap shirt was sweaty. His jeans had a hole in the knee. I bet they can't even afford an apartment together, Liam continued. Are you going to live in his walk-up? Raise kids among cockroaches? I'd rather have cockroaches than snakes. Very funny. Liam took out his iPad. Look at this. A penthouse in a downtown luxury building. Riverview, 3 bedrooms, private terrace. It could be ours. The photos were impressive. The kind of place Lucy dreamed of when she was 20. It's beautiful, she admitted. It's yours. Today. Divorced. Marry me. I'll give you the life you deserve. The life I deserve, or the life that's convenient for you. You don't understand. His tone hardened. Patricia taught me something. Connections matter. She had contacts I needed. And you found out the Italian count had better ones? The verbal slap made him step back. The point is, Liam recovered his composure. I was thinking strategically. Something you should do. Strategically? Your little business is fine for a hobby, but you need real security, a husband with a future. He looked at Andy with contempt. Not a loser who pretends to have an MIT education. He's not pretending. I saw his ID. IDs are faked. My private investigator can't find any Andy Echeverria from MIT because he was looking for the wrong last name. Andy had used only his mother's maiden name at the courthouse. Your investigator is incompetent, Lucy said. My investigator is the best, and when he finds out who your little husband really is, you're going to feel very stupid. Liam took the rejected roses. When it happens, I'll be waiting, but not forever. He left, leaving his expensive cologne and cheap threats. Andy appeared immediately. Are you okay? Define okay. Are you tempted? The penthouse? The easy life? Lucy looked at him, his concern genuine. His hands that had worked all morning helping her. His eyes that never looked at her like an object. Come here. She pulled him into the dressing room and closed the curtain. Lucy, what? She silenced him with a kiss. Not a soft, tentative kiss. A kiss that said everything words couldn't. When they broke apart, they were both breathing heavily. Does that answer your question? She said. It creates new questions. Andy touched his lips, dazed. Like what, for example? Like what did I do to deserve you? This time it was he who kissed her, pressing her against the dressing room wall. His hands in her hair, his solid body against hers. For a moment, everything disappeared. The boutique, Liam, the lies, the secrets. Boss! Marcella's voice separated them. Important customer. They came out of the dressing room disheveled and flushed. Marcella smiled cheekily. You sure are newlyweds. The important customer turned out to be Natalie, Carmen's daughter. Hi. She looked uncomfortable. I came to apologize for dinner. It wasn't your fault, Lucy said. Still. Natalie looked at Andy. What you said about markets, you were right. I checked Roberto's portfolio. He's going to lose millions. Not millions, Andy corrected. Hundreds of thousands, maybe. How did you know from just 3 mentions? Experience. Natalie studied him. You're not just someone who fixes computers. I'm a lot of things. My boss is looking for consultants. He pays very well. She took out a card. If you're interested, Andy took the card. Aston Global Investments. He knew the company. They had tried to buy Valor Tech last year. I'll think about it. Do it. Natalie turned to Lucy. Your husband is special. Don't let my mother or her friends convince you otherwise. After she left, Marcella whistled. That was intense. Andy's phone rang. Joaquin again. He silenced it. Your ex-boss? Lucy asked. He's persistent. What does he want? For you to go back? Andy hesitated. There's a situation at the company. They need me. Need you to fix computers? Something like that. Lucy looked at him. So many secrets. So many half-truths, but also those kisses, that connection, that feeling of finally being with the right person. Andy, what aren't you telling me? Before he could answer, the door burst open. Liam had returned, but not alone. Eleanor was with him, and a man with a briefcase who was yelling, "Lawyer!" "We found something interesting," Liam announced with malicious satisfaction. Eleanor was trembling with fury. "Your husband is a fraud." "What are you talking about?" Lucy stood protectively in front of Andy. The lawyer opened his briefcase. "There's no record of any Andres Echeverria graduating from MIT. "Because I didn't use Echeverria at MIT, Andy said calmly. "Oh, you didn't? What did you use then?" Liam smiled like a shark. Andy took a deep breath. The partial truth was no longer enough. "Villarreal. Andres Villarreal." The silence was deafening. "Villarreal." The lawyer typed on his tablet. His face went pale. "Andres Sebastian Villarreal Echeverria, CEO of Valor Tech. Estimated company value." "No!" Liam snatched the tablet. His eyes went wide. "It can't be." "What?" Eleanor looked over his shoulder. The scream she let out could have shattered glass. $500 million? Lucy stumbled. Andy held her. "Can I explain?" $500 million? Lucy's voice was a whisper. $500 million? The money doesn't matter. "It doesn't matter?" Lucy exploded. "You lied to me all this time." "I didn't lie. I just omitted details." "Details? $500 million is a detail?" Eleanor had switched from shock to huntress mode. "Mr. Villarreal, what an honor. My daughter and you make a beautiful couple. 5 minutes ago you wanted to annul the marriage," Marcella reminded her. "Misunderstandings." Eleanor fanned herself. "Carlos, shut up. You look like a fish." Liam indeed looked like a fish out of water. "This is impossible. It's fake. It's real." The lawyer showed more results. Articles from Forbes, TechCrunch, The Wall Street Journal. "He's one of the most successful entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley, and he's married to my daughter." Eleanor practically glowed. "My millionaire son-in-law." "Your lying son-in-law," Lucy corrected. Tears ran down her cheeks. "Your son-in-law, who used me for his little experiment." "Lucy." "No." Andy tried to touch her. "Don't touch me." She backed away. Everything was a lie. The walk-up, the coffee shop job. Playing the poor boy. The feelings are real. "Like Victoria's?" The words came out venomous. "Did you also tell her you loved her while you were lying to her?" The blow was brutal. Andy went pale. "You're no better than Liam." Lucy took off her wedding ring. "He left me for money. You deceived me for your psychological game." She threw the ring at his feet and ran into the back room, locking the door. "Lucy, please!" Andy banged on the door. "Leave her," Eleanor advised, suddenly maternal. "She needs to process. Meanwhile, would you like some coffee? We have a lot to discuss about the future." "Don't talk to me." Lucy was cutting fabric with unnecessary violence. 2 days had passed since the revelation at the boutique. "You need to listen to me." Andy had slept in the hallway, waiting for her to come out of the room. "I need you to disappear. I'm your husband legally. You're a fraud legally. A brutal scissor cut through the silk. You used a fake last name. Echeverria is my mother's maiden name. It's legal." "Legal like pretending to be poor?" Another violent cut. "Like letting me believe you were a victim like me?" "I am a victim. Victoria destroyed me." "Victoria was right." Lucy threw the scissors. "Without your money, you're nobody. A liar who plays with people." Each word was a knife. Andy sat down, defeated. "You're right." Lucy blinked. She didn't expect that answer. "I'm a coward," he continued. "I was so afraid of being used again that I ended up using you. It's unforgivable." "Then let's get a divorce, if that's what you want." He took out his cell phone. I'll call my lawyers now." Lucy watched him dial. Part of her wanted him to fight, to beg, but he just looked broken. "Joaquin?" Andy spoke. "I need Bermudez's number, the divorce lawyer." "No." Lucy snatched the phone. "You can't just give up like that." "What do you want then?" "I want the truth. All of it." Andy took a breath. "Fine. The whole truth." He sat on the floor of the boutique, among scraps of fabric. Lucy, after hesitating, sat across from him. "I grew up poor, in Queens. My dad left my mom when I was born. She cleaned houses," he began. "I studied on scholarships. I got to MIT on a full scholarship. That's where I met Joaquin." "Your partner?" "My only real friend. We started Valor Tech in a garage. Literally. Like Jobs and Wozniak." He smiled bitterly. "I worked 20 hours a day. Victoria came into my life then. What was she like? Beautiful. Smart. She pretended to understand my obsession." Andy looked at his hands. "When we sold our first patent for $10 million, I thought I was the luckiest man. I had money and a woman who loved me. But she didn't love you. She fell in love with the idea. The future millionaire." He closed his eyes. "At our engagement party with 200 people, she made a toast. To the man who is going to give me the life I deserve. To his millions that will be mine." God. Everyone laughed. They thought she was joking. But she looked at me and I knew. Her voice cracked. 2 years of acting. 2 years of pretending. Lucy, without thinking, took his hand. I confronted her afterward. "You know what she said. Of course I don't love you. Look at you. But your millions make up for it." Bitch. She destroyed me, not my heart. That heals. But my trust. He squeezed her hand. I decided to disappear. I left Joaquin to handle everything. I came back to New York. I lived simply, looking for someone who would see me. Not the millions. Just Andy. He looked at her, and you appeared, crying in your wedding dress, as broken as I was. And you decided to lie to me. I decided to protect myself. But I fell in love. His thumb caressed her wrist. More every day. Your strength, your passion, the way you defend your boutique. You're real, Lucy. The first real person in years. If I'm so real, why didn't you trust me? Because I'm a coward. He got up, but I was going to tell you. After your fashion show, I swear. My fashion show is in 3 days. I know. I wanted it to be your moment, without my drama. He walked to the door. I'm going to stay in a hotel. When you want to talk about divorce, call me. Andy. He stopped without turning. Is your offer to help with the expansion still on the table? Always. Then stay. Lucy got up. I don't forgive you, but I need your help for the fashion show. 3 days later. Fashion show day. We're missing 2 models. Marcella was hysterical. And the press got here early. Breathe. Andy was handling the crisis with executive calm. Lucy, focus on the buyers. Marcella, improvise with the employees. I'll handle the press. You? Lucy was skeptical. Trust me, I know how to handle press. And he did. Somehow he convinced the journalists to wait, entertaining them with stories about the fashion world he shouldn't know. Eleanor arrived with her uptown entourage. My millionaire son-in-law. Eleanor, please, Lucy hissed. What? Can't I brag? She hooked her arm into Andy's. Carmen is green with envy. Liam appeared, of course, now with Andrea, a blonde who looked like a model. I came to show my support. His smile was pure poison. As a friend. We're not friends, Lucy said. We'll be family when you divorce the imposter. He looked at Andy. Because this is temporary, right? Whatever is temporary or not is none of your business, Andy intervened. It's not? Liam took out his cell phone. How curious. Forbes says Valortech needs its CEO urgently. The merger with Chen Industries is in danger. Andy went pale. That information was not public. How do you know that? I have contacts. Liam smiled. I bet you need to go back to California. Today. Andy's phone exploded. Joaquin. Answer it, Lucy said softly. It's okay. Andy walked away. Joaquin, the merger's falling apart. Chen says without you there's no deal. I need you to come now. I'm in the middle of something important. More important than 500 million? Andy looked at Lucy, directing models in her radiant element. Yes, more important. You're crazy. If you don't come in 48 hours, you'll lose everything. Then I lose everything. He hung up. When he turned around, Lucy was there. I heard. You should go. Your fashion show. Valortech is your life. No. He took her shoulders. You are my life. Or I want you to be. Before she could answer, a man in a suit arrived. Andres Villarreal. Yes. Joaquin Castillo sent me. Private jet waiting at the airport. Orders to take you to California immediately. I'm not going. Mr. Villarreal, with all due respect, 500 million. I don't care. The man looked at Lucy and understood. Love before money. Admirable. He left a card. If you change your mind, the jet will wait 3 hours. When he left, the fashion show began. It was a resounding success. Lucy's designs shone. Buyers were bidding. The press adored everything. Speech, someone shouted. Lucy got on the small stage. Thank you all. This boutique is my dream. And dreams, she looked at Andy. They need real people to support them. Applause. Eleanor was crying theatrically. Liam looked constipated. Then Joaquin arrived. Sorry to interrupt. He burst in like a storm, tablet in hand. Andy, Chen wants a video call, now or never. Joaquin, this isn't the time. Andres Villarreal. A journalist jumped up. The CEO of Valortech. Silence fell like a bomb. Villarreal. Another journalist was taking pictures. The tech millionaire? It's him. A buyer was frantically Googling. 500 million in assets. Chaos erupted. Flashes, questions, everyone surrounding Andy. Why are you in New York? Is the Chen merger true? Who is the woman? Lucy watched in horror as her fashion show turned into a circus. Her moment was stolen. Enough! Andy yelled. The silence was instantaneous. A CEO's voice. This is Mrs. Fernandez's fashion show. Respect it. Fernandez? A journalist connected the dots. Is she your wife? Andy looked at Lucy, asking for permission. She nodded, defeated. Yes, Lucy is my wife. The boutique is hers? It's hers, completely. I support her. He looked at Lucy with pain. Are you going to invest? Expand? Ask her. It's her business. But no one asked Lucy. They all wanted the story of the millionaire. Lucy ran out the back door. Andy followed her, finding her crying in the alley. I'm sorry, he said. I ruined everything. My moment, my fashion show. Now I'm just the millionaire's wife. It's not true. Isn't it? Did you see how they looked at me when they found out? She wiped away furious tears. Like Liam. Like I won the lottery. Lucy, go to California, he said, his voice flat. Save your merger. Not without you. Not with you. She looked at him. I need time to think, to decide if I can handle this. How much time? I don't know. Andy took out the ring she had thrown away days before. He put it in her hand. When you decide. If you decide not to, I'll understand. But if there's a chance, his voice cracked, I'll be waiting. He left, leaving her with the ring and the weight of an impossible decision. Mrs. Villarreal, what a surprise. The manager of the French bank practically knelt when Lucy walked in. Your husband didn't mention you were coming. I'm not Mrs. Villarreal. Lucy gritted her teeth. 2 days had passed since the ruined fashion show. I'm sorry. The records show. I'm here to open my own account. Lucy Fernandez. Just that. The manager blinked, confused, but he complied. While he was processing the papers, he wouldn't stop talking. Your husband revolutionized digital banking. ValorTech processes our international transactions. An absolute genius. I don't know him that well. You don't? But you're married? Sign here, okay? Lucy cut him off. As she left the bank, she found Liam waiting for her. Small world, he said with fake casualness. You're following me. Just checking on a friend. He walked beside her. Must be hard to find out your husband used you, like you used me. I was honest about wanting connections. Carlos grabbed her arm. He pretended to be poor. He's a sociopath. Let me go. Lucy, think about why a millionaire would pretend to be a beggar. Control. It excites him to manipulate. The words hit their mark. Lucy had thought the same thing. I know people in his world, Liam continued. Villarreal is ruthless. He destroyed 3 competing companies, without mercy. That's business. And what are you? Another business? Liam took out his cell phone. Look at this. An article from TechCrunch. Villarreal reappears married in New York. Tax strategy or romance? They're speculating that he married you for taxes. New York has treaties that benefit him. Lucy felt nauseous. It's not true. Isn't it? Then why didn't he mention the millions? She had no answer. Liam took advantage. Andrea left me, but she did me a favor. She opened my eyes. He leaned in. I still love you, despite the scandal, the ridicule, your fake marriage. It's not fake. Then where's your husband? Another bullseye. Andy had flown to California that morning, saving his company. He'll always choose money over you, Liam corrected. Just like he always will. Lucy's boutique later. Boss, you have a visitor. Marcella looked nervous. An elegant woman in her 30s was waiting. Classic beauty dressed in designer clothes. Victoria Amstel. Lucy froze. Andy's ex, the former fiancé. Victoria studied the boutique with disdain. Quaint. What do you want? To warn you. She sat down without an invitation. Andy is dangerous. Andy is not. Did he tell you our story? His version? Victoria laughed. Poor Andy. Betrayed by the evil, greedy fiancé. He told me I only wanted his money. Partial truth. Victoria crossed her legs. Yes, I did care about his money. But I also loved him. Or did I love who he was with the money? I don't know. Poor Andy was sweet, hard-working, attentive. Victoria lit a cigarette, ignoring the no-smoking signs. Rich Andy became obsessive, controlling, paranoid. He's lying. Is he? Did he tell you why we really broke up? Victoria blew smoke. He made me sign 15 confidentiality agreements. He installed cameras in our apartment. He checked my messages. Lucy felt a chill. The money poisoned him, Victoria continued. He became unable to trust. That's why I made that cruel toast, to free myself. It was the only way he would let me go. I don't believe you. Don't believe me. Victoria got up. But ask yourself, why pretend to be poor? Isn't that the ultimate control? Deciding who knows the truth and when. She left a card. When you get tired of his games, call me. Villarreal's victims have to stick together. After she left, Lucy was trembling. What if it was true? What if Andy was a manipulator? Her phone rang. Video call from Andy. "Hey," he said. He looked exhausted. It was midnight in California. "Hey, how are you?" "Victoria came to see me." The silence was long. "What did she say?" "That you're controlling, obsessive, that you installed cameras." "The cameras were for security. The company had been threatened. And the confidentiality agreements? The lawyers insisted on them. And checking her messages? I never stopped. One time she was acting strange, and God, yes, I did it. So it's true. You're a control freak." I was. The money made me paranoid. He rubbed his face. "That's why I needed to get away. To be normal again." "Normal? By lying about who you are?" "Lucy, please." "No, Victoria was right. It's control. You decide what I know and when." "It's not like that." "Isn't it? Then why didn't you trust me?" Tears fell. "Why didn't you just say, 'I'm rich, but I want to get to know you anyway'? Because nobody says no to 500 million. I would have." "Are you sure?" Andy leaned into the camera. "If on the day of your wedding, after being destroyed by Carlos, a millionaire showed up, wouldn't you have thought it was fate?" The blow was precise. Lucy remembered her desperation that day. "I would have thought you were another Liam." "Exactly. That's why I didn't say anything." His voice softened. "It wasn't manipulation. It was fear." "Fear of what?" "That you would love me for the wrong reasons, like Victoria." "And now? How do I know you love me for the right reasons?" Andy looked at her through the screen, 8,000 miles between them. "Because I'm willing to lose everything for you." "What?" "Chen backed out of the offer. Without the merger, Valortech loses the Asian market." He smiled sadly. "Joaquin is furious, but I don't care." "You lost 500 million?" "I didn't lose them. I chose to lose them." He looked at her intently. "For you, because your fashion show was more important." "Are you crazy?" "Probably." He ran his hand through his hair. "Lucy, I'm not perfect. Money changed me, scared me, isolated me. But with you, I remember who I was before, who I want to be." "And who do you want to be? Your husband?" "If you still want me." Lucy looked at the ring in her hand. She hadn't put it on, but she hadn't returned it either. "I don't know if I can trust you." "Then let me earn your trust, without lies." Andy moved his face closer to the camera. "Let's move into that small apartment you saw in Brooklyn. I'll live as a regular consultant, without touching the millions." "You would give up everything?" "I'm not giving up. I'm choosing." His voice was firm. "I choose you. I need to think. Take all the time you need." He paused. "But Lucy, hey, I love you. With or without money. With or without the company. I love you." He hung up before she could reply. Lucy's apartment. 3 a.m. She couldn't sleep. Everyone's words were swirling in her head. Liam, Victoria, Andy. Everyone had different versions of the truth. There was a knock on the door at 3 in the morning. "Who is it?" "Joaquin Castillo." She opened it with the chain on. Andy's partner. "We need to talk about Andy. It's late. Please, I came from California just for this." She let him in. Joaquin looked like he had been crying. "I've known him for 15 years, he began without preamble. "Before the money, the success, Victoria. And he's the best man I know." Joaquin sat down heavily. "Yes, money changed him. He became distrustful, but not evil." Victoria says. "Victoria is poison," he interrupted. "Yes, Andy became paranoid with her, because she gave him reasons. I caught her kissing my brother." Lucy sat down. Shock. "What?" "At our corporate Christmas party, with my own brother. Joaquin clenched his fists. I didn't tell Andy. She begged me not to. Why? She said she loved him, that it was a mistake. My God. But it continued, with an investor, with a lawyer. Always mistakes. Joaquin looked at her. Andy never knew. He just felt something was wrong. That's why he checked her messages that one time. Why didn't you tell him? Because it would have destroyed him even more. Joaquin took out his cell phone. But I kept evidence. Photos. Victoria with different men, all while she was with Andy. It's horrible, Lucy murmured. What's horrible is that Andy still blames himself. He thinks his paranoia drove her away. Joaquin put the phone away. He doesn't know his paranoia was justified. Why are you telling me this? Because you're different. He leaned forward. In 15 years, I've never seen Andy look the way he does when he talks about you. Happy, free, himself. He lied to me. He protected you and himself. Joaquin got up. He lost $500 million for you. Do you know what that means? That he's crazy. That he loves you. He walked to the door. Victoria would never have inspired that sacrifice. No one ever had. Only you. He stopped at the door. Andy's coming back tomorrow against my advice. We should save what's left of the deal. But he insisted. He looked at her. He says some deals aren't worth it without the right person to celebrate them with. He left, leaving her with more truths than she could process. The ring was heavy in her hand. 500 million sacrificed. For her. Was it love or madness? Did the difference matter? Lucy was standing in front of the church where it all began. The same one where Liam abandoned her. The same one where she symbolically married a stranger. 2 days had passed since Joaquin's visit. 2 days of processing truths, lies, and half-truths. I didn't expect to find you here. Andy's voice startled her. He was on the stairs, in jeans and a simple t-shirt. No millionaire suits, just Andy. Joaquin said you were coming back today. I landed an hour ago. I came straight here. He approached slowly, as if she were a frightened animal. Why here? Because it all started here, and maybe it all ends here. Lucy sat next to him, leaving space between them. Joaquin told me about Victoria. Andy tensed. What did he say? Everything. The other men. The photos. I don't know what you're talking about. Your paranoia was justified, Andy. Lucy looked at him. She was cheating on you. The shock on his face was genuine. What? With multiple men. Joaquin has proof. Andy covered his face with his hands. His body was trembling. Why didn't he tell me? To protect you. Everyone is always protecting me with lies. The bitterness was palpable. Joaquin, Victoria, myself. And now what? Now I'm tired of lies. He looked at her. Tired of protection. I just want the truth. Okay. The whole truth. Lucy took a deep breath. You scared me. Not because of the money. Well, that too. But because of the control. I know. You could decide everything. When to know. What to know. How to react. I know. Andy took her hand tentatively. That's why I gave up my power. What? I resigned as CEO. This morning before I flew. He took out a document. Joaquin runs everything now. Lucy read in disbelief. You can't resign from your own company. I can be a consultant without executive power. I looked at her. Without control. Andy is your life. No. Valor Tech was my escape. From poverty, from rejection, from feeling like a nobody. He squeezed her hand. But I don't need to escape anymore. Why? Because I found you. His voice was gentle. Or rather, I found myself when I found you. That's very cheesy. I'm an engineer. Pretty words aren't my thing. They both laughed. breaking the tension. "So what now?" Lucy asked. "Now you decide." Andy took out 2 envelopes. "Option 1, divorce papers, signed by me. They just need your signature. And option 2, tickets to Paris, for a real honeymoon." He hesitated. "If you still want to be married to me." Lucy took both envelopes. The weight of the decision was literally in her hands. "Paris. You once said you dreamed of seeing the Parisian boutiques." He smiled shyly. "We could go, like normal people, without millions." "Without millions?" "Well, with a few thousands. Parisian hotels are expensive." Lucy studied him. This man who had sacrificed an empire for an afternoon at her fashion show, who had chosen to lose millions rather than lose her. "I have one condition. Boy thing. No more lies. Ever. Not even to protect me." "Promised. And one more thing." She leaned in. "The millions. Don't give them up for me. They're a part of you. Your work. Your achievement. I don't want you to give up anything. Just to share it with me." "Share?" "Like a real marriage." Lucy took out the ring she had kept. "Will you help me?" With trembling hands, Andy took the ring. "Lucy Fernandez, do you take this millionaire idiot who pretends to be poor?" "Only if the idiot takes this clothing designer with big dreams." He slid the ring on her finger. "I do," they whispered together. They kissed right there on the church steps, where weeks before, 2 broken strangers had faked a wedding. "I knew I'd find you here." Eleanor appeared like a hurricane, Carmen and Natalie behind her. The gossip of the century. "Mom, what are you doing here?" Joaquin called me. Eleanor hugged Andy effusively. "My favorite son-in-law." "Your only son-in-law," Lucy corrected. "For now, I need some millionaire grandkids." "Eleanor," Carmen interrupted. "Is it true he resigned as CEO?" "And?" Eleanor faced her. "My son-in-law could be a garbage man, and he'd still be better than anything in your family." Eleanor's transformation was comical, from hating him to defending him in a matter of weeks. "Besides," Eleanor continued, "you're still a consultant, right, Andy?" "Something like that." Natalie approached Lucy. "I'm so happy for you. You both deserve happiness." "Thanks." "And Carlos?" "Trying to seduce a Brazilian heiress." Natalie rolled her eyes. "He never learns. Good riddance." "It won't be good riddance," Natalie smiled. "The Brazilian girl is my friend. I already warned her." A luxurious car stopped in front of the church. Joaquin got out with champagne. "To celebrate?" "Celebrate what?" Andy asked. Chen reconsidered. "He wants to negotiate." Joaquin was smiling. "He says a CEO who sacrifices millions for love is exactly who he wants to partner with." "I'm not a CEO anymore. Principal consultant, whatever." Joaquin uncorked the champagne. "The point is, we didn't lose anything. In fact, he's offering better terms." "I don't understand," Lucy said. "The Chinese value loyalty over money." Joaquin poured glasses. "The story of Andy choosing you went viral in Asia. You're a celebrity there." "A celebrity?" "The woman for whom a millionaire risked everything." Joaquin raised his glass. "To Lucy and Andy, to love over money, to truth over lies," Lucy added. "To second chances," Andy said. They drank right there on the church steps. Eleanor was crying, genuinely this time. Carmen looked envious. Natalie was smiling. "So, honeymoon in Paris?" Joaquin asked. "Maybe." Lucy looked at Andy. "Or maybe we'll stay. I have a fashion show to redo." "Redo?" "Without a media circus," she smiled. "Just fashion." "I can help with that," Natalie offered. "I know European buyers." "And I can handle the press," Joaquin added. "Keep them away." I'll organize everything, Eleanor declared. It'll be the event of the year. Andy looked at Lucy. See, you don't need my millions. You have something better. What? People who love you for you, just as he loved her, just as she loved him. 1 week later, Lucy's boutique. I can't believe it's working. Marcella was looking at the new system. Online sales have exploded. Andy designed the platform. Lucy watched her husband explaining functions to the employees. So you're staying in New York then? For now. Joaquin is opening an office here. Lucy smiled. He says Argentine talent is undervalued. And the millions? Mostly invested. We live a normal life. She looked at her simple ring. Well, our normal. Liam walked into the boutique, alone. I come in peace. You're here to buy something? He corrected. For the Brazilian girl. She left. Liam looked defeated. She said I was shallow. Because you are. Maybe. He looked at Andy, who was completely ignoring him. Is he happy? Very. And you? Happier than ever. Liam nodded. I'm glad. Really. He paused. I'm sorry I abandoned you. You did me a favor. If you hadn't left me, I would have never found real love. Liam looked toward Andy, who was now making the employees laugh with some nerdy anecdote. He's different from us. Completely. Lucy smiled. That's why it works? Liam left without buying anything. Andy approached. What did he want? To close circles. And? They're closed. She kissed him. All the pasts were buried. And the future? The future. Lucy looked at her full boutique, her husband by her side, her imperfectly perfect life. The future is ours. Andy's phone rang. Another message from Joaquin about the merger. Are you going to answer? Later. He hugged her. Right now, there's just you. And there, in the middle of her boutique, surrounded by fabric and dreams, Lucy knew she had found something more valuable than 500 million. She had found a love that needed no lies or millions. Just truth. Just them. A year had passed since that reconciliation on the church steps. Lucy looked at her new flagship store in Soho. 3 floors of design and fashion. It wasn't ostentatious. She had rejected Andy's suggestion to buy the whole building, but it was perfect. Nervous. Andy adjusted the simple pearl necklace around her neck. For the opening or for this? She touched her 5-month pregnant belly, barely visible under her self-designed dress. Both. Terrified, she admitted with a smile. The original boutique was still running, managed by Marcella, who was now a minority partner. The expansion had been organic. Her talent, not Andy's money, had attracted legitimate investors. Mrs. Echeverria Villarreal, Natalie, now her financial director, called her. The guests are arriving. They had agreed to use both last names. Balance in everything. Eleanor came in like a whirlwind, wearing a dress designed by her daughter. My grandson is going to be a businessman. Or granddaughter, Andy corrected. And they'll be born however they want to be born. With Villarreal Fernandez Janes, they'll be successful. Eleanor hugged him. My favorite son-in-law. Eleanor's transformation was complete. She now bragged more about Lucy's talent than Andy's money. Joaquin arrived with his new girlfriend, an Argentine programmer who had him fascinated. The New York office is already more productive than Silicon Valley. I told you. Andy smiled. Latino talent was waiting for an opportunity. Speaking of opportunity, Joaquin took out a tablet. Chen wants us to expand throughout Asia, but he needs your approval. After the opening, always after with you two. Joaquin put the tablet away. Love made them unproductive. Love made us human, Lucy corrected. The opening was a resounding success. Press, buyers, influencers. They all wanted to see the boutique of the woman who conquered the millionaire. But Lucy had changed that narrative. Now she was the designer who happens to be married to a tech entrepreneur. "Speech," someone requested. Lucy took the microphone. "A year ago, my life changed on the steps of a church, not by marrying a millionaire. That had already happened. But by choosing love over fear." She looked at Andy, who was holding a glass of water, having become a teetotaler in solidarity with her pregnancy. This business grew not because of a millionaire's investment, but because of hard work, Argentine talent, and genuine support. She raised her glass of juice. "To all those who believed in a small boutique with big dreams." Applause. Andy approached and whispered, "To the woman who taught me that some risks are worth taking." "Cheesy," she murmured, but kissed him anyway. Liam appeared at the end of the night when almost everyone had left. "Congratulations," he seemed genuine. "On everything, the business, the baby. Thanks. I found someone," he added, "a school teacher. Doesn't have a penny, but she makes me want to be a better person. I'm glad. Andy is lucky. We're both lucky." Liam nodded and left, finally closing that chapter. Later, in their Brooklyn walk-up, it wasn't the penthouse Liam had offered, or the mansion Andy could buy. It was a modest space, but beautiful, full of light and plants. "Tired?" Andy massaged her swollen feet. "Happy tired. Joaquin says we should move. With the baby, we'll need more space. I like it here." "Me too." He continued the massage. "Though the upstairs neighbor is noisy, we could buy the apartment above. The millionaire's you now," he joked. "Please, my boutique makes good money, but not millions. Yet." Lucy looked at him. Her husband had changed. Less obsessive, more relaxed. He still worked hard, but now he had balance. They had dinner together every night. Sundays were sacred. Just them. "Andy, are you happy?" He stopped massaging and looked at her seriously. Happier than ever. "Don't you miss the power? The money?" It was a gilded cage. He moved to hold her against his chest. "This is freedom. This, you, us, this life we built." He touched her belly. "Our future baby is going to grow up knowing they're loved for who they are, not for what they have. They'll have a lot anyway. Technically, they're heir to millions. In a trust until they're 25, and only if they demonstrate values." Andy had been firm on that. "I don't want to raise a Liam. Impossible. They'll have your nerdy genes and your rebellious creativity. Poor kid. They won't have a chance at being normal. Who wants normal?" Andy kissed her. "Normal is boring." His phone rang. A message from Victoria. "I saw the news. Congratulations on the pregnancy." Lucy deleted it without replying. Some people didn't deserve a space in their new life. "Victoria?" "Doesn't matter. You know what I discovered?" Andy played with her hair. "I never loved her. I loved the idea of being loved. And now? Now I love you. The real, complicated, perfectly imperfect you. You're a poet now, too. Your bad influence." They fell silent, listening to the night city. Tomorrow there would be decisions. The Asian expansion, baby preparations, running their small and large empires. But tonight, it was just them. A week later, at a charity gala, they had anonymously donated $10 million to tech education in low-income neighborhoods. No one knew except the foundation's director. "Why anonymous?" Lucy had asked. "Because it's the right thing to do. We don't need the credit." Now, at the gala, they watched Eleanor bragging about her philanthropic son-in-law without knowing the irony. "Your mother is a character." She's improved. Now she brags about my work too. It was true. Eleanor had framed every article about the boutique, every positive review. "Mr. Villarreal," a young man approached nervously. "I'm Thomas, from the projects. I received one of the tech scholarships." Andy didn't reveal that he had personally funded those scholarships. "Congratulations, Thomas. I wanted to thank you for existing. It's inspiring. Someone Latino in Silicon Valley. Talent has no nationality," Andy said. "It just needs an opportunity. My dream is to work at ValorTech someday, then study hard. We're always looking for talent." When the young man left, Lucy looked at him with pride. "You're his hero." "I'm just a lucky guy who didn't forget where he came from." "You're more than that." The band began to play. It was the same song from their first fake wedding. "Shall we dance?" Andy held out his hand. "I'm huge." "You're perfect." They danced slowly, ignoring the stares. The tech millionaire and his designer wife, expecting their first child, building an empire based on love and mutual respect. "Do you know what day it is today?" he asked. "Friday?" "The anniversary of when you dragged me to the altar." Lucy laughed. "Dragged? You came willingly." "The best impulsive decision of my life. Better than creating ValorTech." "ValorTech gave me money. You gave me life." He carefully spun her. "You definitely became a poet. And you became a millionaire. By association. By your own merit." He stopped her. "Your boutique, your talent, your work, our everything." They kissed right there in the middle of the dance floor, regardless of the flashes or murmurs. Because in the end, after lies and truths, abandonments and reunions, millions gained and sacrificed, they had found something priceless. A love that needed no masks or millions. Just two people choosing each other every day, with their imperfections, with their truths, completely. What did you think of the story of Lucy and Andy? Leave your comment below. On a scale of 0 to 10, how would you rate this story? Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our stories.